Stop! Sure you want to lick the creamy yoghurt from every last... Stop! Sure you want to lick the creamy yoghurt from every last...
Jeez. I don't know why, but I started getting all panicky when I realized I was like half an hour late. There we are. I'm all over the place. Hang on, let me get organized. Okay, I think I'm fine. The light at the end of the darkness. I almost passed away and she went dark for a second. Oh god. Oh my Jesus. I was literally in full panic mode. I shouldn't be, but it's like YouTube stream. I'm never like super duper late to YouTube streams. And it's just like, thank God this is the last stream of the week, so. Then again, that means nothing considering we only got one day left of the week. If you haven't seen Mortal Kombat 1, we did just do episode 5. Sorry, I just uploaded episode 5. So yeah, that's on YouTube exclusive if you want to go watch that. Mortal Kombat 1 will be finishing up probably I can probably see in the next 2 weeks Mortal Kombat 1 will be finishing up. So that will free up that'll free up a day slot for SMT5. Or if I want to do something else alongside. Why am I in gallery? I meant to go to movie. We need the opening theme. I hope you're doing well though, bud. You know when you kind of play a game and you don't want it to end? This is that game. Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk is that game that I don't want to end. SMT5? Hey, I'll be fine if that ended tomorrow. Mortal Kombat 1? Same thing. This? I don't want it to end. But it will do at some point. And whether it's fortunately or unfortunately, it's probably going to be the start of December. As far as the pace we're going at the moment. Okay, I'm done. It's like Monday and Saturday are the Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk days. I will say right now, Saturday and Sunday next week, there won't be any streams or any content being uploaded at all. That's because Saturday and Sunday next week I'll be busy. Right, continue. Interlude, that is where we were. Oh right, we had the notes. We were supposed to pick one we think would help us uncover things.
カレイドビアを追う間に見た僕の知る真実が記してあるどれもこれも僕にとっては興味深い物語だけど君にとってはどうかなもしかしたら知りたくない真実が書かれているかもしれないどうせ忘れてしまうとはいえ君がこれからも単純で平穏な幸せを望むのなら
I'm gonna read them.
さあどうだろうそれでも君は読みたいと思うのかな
Yeah, because you're in the Kaleidosphere, aren't we, at the moment?
仕方がない君自身の手で ページをめくるんだ。君が知りたい真実のページをね。
I'm gonna save here because there is quite a bit of text. We'll just save over because that's the interlude still. Perfect. Black Shadow was the one I wanted to pick. I wanted the truth on this one. Can never trust you, always save. Again, I did it again. I wasn't asked to do this. I didn't even know if he was going to be a hindrance. I killed again. I can't hold this desire back. My body and soul disobey my mind and move on their own accord. Maybe there's a monster inside of me and that thing's taking over my body to do this. Okay, so this is the point of view from the Black Shadow, got it. But today's kill was pretty well done, only my fingertips are dirty. I'm getting better at this. But I can't brag about this to anyone no matter how good I get. I couldn't tell anyone in the first place. Better get cleaned up. I went to the well in the back of the manor. No one uses it at this hour. I dumped the almost freezing water on myself. Blood all flowed away. The stench still remained. I hit the button. I think it's stuck on me at this point, on my fingers, under my nails. The stench of death. I dumped more water on me. It still smells. I dumped even more water on me. I rubbed my nails together as roughly as I could. It wouldn't come off. No matter how much I washed it off, the smell wouldn't go away. But that's only natural. The stench was only a figment of my imagination. The visual memory stimulates my sense of smell. What a whim I went to look at a body of someone I killed a while ago. I really shouldn't do this until it's been discovered, but I hit it a little too well. The corpse was protected by the cold air of the night and would never decompose. Yet still give off a terrible stench. Skin had a ghastly pale colour making it indistinguishable between a man or a woman. It belonged to a human long dead. Even seeing that change I felt nothing. Alright, still dead. I did kill it, right? This should be alright. Alright? What's alright? The man that was supposed to be dead was standing in the darkness. It was the man I killed. He looked at me with hatred in his eyes. That's all he does. He just stares. His bloody, rotted eyes look at me. The ghosts chase after the stench of death stuck on me. So that's a vision he saw. I closed my eyes and told that to myself over and over again. It's alright, I killed them properly. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Trying to make sure they were dead. When my fingers lost feeling from the cold, the stench still remained. My hands no longer felt warm. Maybe these hands don't belong to a human anymore. The hands of a monster. Ice cold.
Levi?
Oh, and this is here. Dead? Did he see me? No, I washed off all the blood. There should be nothing left.
水音が聞こえたから何かと思ったけど、手を洗うなら中で洗えばいいのに。
Well, this is the best confirmation we're ever going to get that Levi is indeed the Black Shadow. Where he has PTSD. I know.
それはその。
あ、さては泥遊びでもしてきたんだな。それでフランシスカに叱られると思って。
な子供みたいなことするわけ。
うわ、冷た。氷みたいになってるよ、レビの手。
Yep, my hand without hesitation. Very key, even while holding my hand.
早く中に入りなよ。今ちょうど温かいスープを作ってたんだ。レビにも分けてあげるよ。レビ？
それ、ちゃんと食えるんだろうな。
へえ、そういうこと言うんだ。いいよ、別に無理して食べてもらわなくても。
冗談。
Damn. The movements. It was warm. His hands. His words. His eyes that looked over at me. I was sure the soup was just the same and would warm my heart. As long as I'm with him. As long as I'm allowed to be with him. I can remain human. I won't have to become a cold monster, I can just stay human. That's a short note. The PTSD. We're gonna complete all these that I can. Okay. So the locked ones we obviously can't see, but we'll see all of them. Son of the Wolf. That man deserves to die. That's what I've been thinking all along. How could I think that of my own father? He was always so selfish and had never considered his own family. Every time that man did anything, Mother would be angry, then sad. Whenever my father disappeared somewhere, my mother would always tell me, "Do not grow up to be like your father."
泣かないで母さん。俺頑張るから。あんなやつみたいにならない。立派な当主になってみせるから。
The ideal lord. With a strong sense of responsibility, generous to the people, intelligent. That is the kind of lord I will become. But would I be able to? Would I be able to become an upstanding adult? One day. My father vanished, and he was never to return. Mother told me so as an infant I didn't recognize in her arms. Who was that? Not that I really cared. That man disappeared. Now Mother will never have to cry or be angry again. He began to smile more, but those smiles were never directed toward me. He only ever smiled at that infant. Only the infant would be loved by Mother. Even if it made a mistake or cried, it was given love ceaselessly. I made so much effort, yet this one can do nothing, and still, the infant in my mother's arms was soon able to begin walking. I found out it was a girl. It was a girl, but why is she being raised as a boy? Could it be that Mother intended on making her the Lord instead of me? Why? Because I'm not dependable? Because I wouldn't be the ideal Lord? Because I'm that man's son? I didn't know. I was always so worried about this, yet the girl was always smiling. How can you smile like that? You're found somewhere. You're not our family. Hate her. I can't become the ideal adult. Mother won't smile for me. I hate everything. When I grew up a little more, I found her in an unusual place. She was in the shadows behind the manor, crouching over and crying. I had a feeling it was Lavan.
なんで泣いてるんだよ。
泣いてない。
嘘だ。今泣いてただろ。
だって寂しいから。お母さんもお父さんもいなくて。
嘘だ。
嘘じゃない。
お前いつも笑ってるじゃないか。
だって笑ってないとフランシスカが泣きそうな顔をするから。ラバンはすごいよね。フランシスカの役に立ってて。
そんなことない。
俺は笑ってるくらいしかできないから。
After saying that, she wiped her tears and smiled. I was the same. Just as I was working hard to please, she also was forcing herself to smile. When did I stop smiling? When was the last time I smiled in front of Mother?
お前すごいな。
全然すごくないよ。
うん、すごい。すごく強い。
I have to become stronger too, so that I won't lose to her, Jed. She's really a woman, but she's working hard. I had to do better than Jed. Since then I worked even harder. I can't lose to her. I have to be stronger with the sword. You have to be smarter.
ねえ、さっきのところ教えてくれないか？
more, stronger than her, so people will say I'm better, so they can become my ideal self.
ラバンはすごいね。
But I wonder why. The closer I get to my ideal, the more ugly emotions flow outward. I want to be someone special to her, but I can't. Shouldn't, but I want to. Want to touch her. I want to steal her away. I want to tell her my feelings. These emotions are so ugly. These selfish emotions. At this rate, he'll be the same as that man. Nothing will have changed. Jesus. They have problems. Quite a few of them. Certain boy, oh boy. This Elric or something? Character development, I know, right? The young boy walked around town barefoot. He couldn't buy food, let alone shoes. He went through the trash behind stores to fend off hunger, but that wasn't enough to satiate him. He was found by the storekeeper, hit and chased away. The other townspeople looked at that boy from afar. On the boy's arms were the markings of a criminal. Scars from burns that still remained. No one offered to help. Nothing but gazes of contempt were given to that boy. With nowhere to go, the boy wandered into the forest. How far had he walked? Soon he found himself at the old tower. Maybe he could get out of the cold in here. The boy entered the tower and started climbing higher. And he wished for someone to save him. Anyone. A voice spoke in the back of the boy's mind. That woman said that. I don't care if she is the witch, if she can save me. If no one else will. When he realized it, he was at the top of the tower. He went near the edge to look down. It was higher than he thought. If he jumped from here... If no one will save me, then I might as well. That's depressing. A man's voice. He turned around and saw a ghostly figure.
しかし、やめておいた方がいい。見たところ、君の背中に羽は生えていないようだ。地面に落ちるのはあまり気持ちよくはないからね。
After saying that, the man embraced the young boy. The man's hands were very cold. The man did not know how to cook. All that was placed on the table was hardened bread as if it were frozen. He also had some raw vegetables that were cut up. But to that boy it was a feast. The boy asked why he was being given food.
私にも君と同じくらいの子供がいるらしい。とてもそうは見えないだろうがね。
The man said, and then whatever he just said. Only the man and the boy were at the tower. Because it's the same thing. What do you mean, girl? It was the same thing. Because the man said, and then he read it anyway. So I don't need to repeat that. Does Ashen Hawk have a kid? I have no idea. I mean, possibly. That would be some interesting developments. Where was that child now? The boy thought it was strange, but he did not ask anything more. Snow cannot give another girl. He's a dad. Hey yo, I can get behind that though. Nothing of her dad. It's not going to change anything. Unless he's still in a relationship, then that will complicate things. Then I might just say, okay, maybe not. For the next few days, the boy stayed with the man. Eyes. He ate and slept, allowing him to return to good health. After that, he had the desire to return to town. The town was filled with memories of his family. Upon hearing that, the man simply
そ
smiled.
れなら教会に行くといい。君のような子供を無下に扱う。
I told you it was Alric's backstory.
それとこれは選別だ。
An expensive-looking ring was given to the boy, fitted between the prongs with a bestial motif. A bestial motif? With a beautiful gem that felt like he would get sucked
売
into.
ってもいいし、持っていれば役に立つことがあるかもしれない。
The boy bid farewell to the man and returned to town. Just as the man said, the church took in the boy. The priest had a strange birthmark on the back of his hand. It did not take away his belongings. The boy was relieved he did not have to sell it. He was overjoyed about that. The church also had taken in a girl younger than the boy. The boy saw someone weaker than him for the first time in his life. The girl depended on him, so the boy chose the girl as someone he must protect. Oh, maybe it's Lavan. Maybe it's Lavan. Ooh, hang on. The time he spent at the church was short. A certain man adopted the boy. The man looked important. The man looked strong.
私と来い。その罪人の証を消してやる。
Oh, this is... this is Lucas's backstory. I see. This is for Lucas. Wolfring that might have been Lavan's dad? It can't have been. It might have been, I don't know. Who knows? The man's name was Olga. Olga made the boy his son. And he made that girl his daughter. So this was how the boy was able to gain a family. A father and a sister. A new family different from the one he had before. Children is next. There were 4 children. A boy and girl born into the Hawk family. A boy and girl born into the Wolf family. The Hawks and Wolves didn't get along. Even as children they knew that. So the 2 boys made an oath. They would swear in front of the Caladvia that they snuck into the church. This is the treasure they received from the witch. The 4 jewels of the Caladvia sealed away evil hearts. They will keep them as proof of their friendship. Our clans may be feuding right now, but when we grow up, we will work as one to bring the clans together. The boy said that while holding out one of the 4 jewels. This is so that our friendship is forever, and we will change this town. We will surround the jewels of the Caladvia. I see. I see. So are we saying originally Levi, Lucas, T and Lavan were all friends with each other as young children? But because they grew up in separate families that, you know, would hate each other, different factions, they kind of split apart. But in their hearts and with the Caladvia, which was given to them by the witch, and the jewels, they wanted to bring everything together like Francisca. Damn. Ew, because it said 2 and 2. Luke's and T look nothing like Olga. Higgins is no longer the kid. Sorry, it may have been Olga and Lavan's dad friendship. Possibly, actually. What happened to my controller? Oh. As time passed, the children became adults. The jewels were turned into rings and their friendships gradually took shape. One year at the masquerade, while the townspeople looked on the Caladvia, 2 couples were formed. A young man of the Wolves and a girl of the Hawks. A young man of the Hawks and a girl of the Wolves. Marriages between the Hawks and Wolves. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, then yeah. Okay. I see now, yeah, this is probably, you're right actually. This is probably them. So, a young man of the wolves and a girl of the hawks. And a young man of the hawks and a girl of the wolves. So, Lavan and Levi's dad might be from the hawks. Who's married Francisca. And Lucas and T's mother. Wait. No, that doesn't make sense. Wait, that complicates things a lot. Oh, my brain. Oh, my brain. Lucas and T are still adopted. Oh, yeah. Never mind, no, they are stupid. They are adopted. So we don't know who the young man of the wolves and the girl of the hawks are. We don't know who they are. But we have a young man of the hawks and a girl of the wolves. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it may be possible that the young man of the hawks might be Olgar and the girl of the wolves was Francisca. AR's mum was part of the friendship. That's possible as well. AR's mum could have been girl of the hawks or something. I don't know. I don't know. There's still way too much that we don't know. It was a memorable moment when a hawk became a wolf and the wolf became a hawk. So there were marriages between them. And voice is the last one we have so far. This might be for Jed or something. There is no morning or night in this dark, dark world. It feels as if I continue to float aimlessly in this deep body of water. Where am I? I don't know who I really am. It feels as if I'm being called by someone. It feels like I'm waiting for someone, but I don't know for sure. I'm always right here. No one is coming, so I may feel a little lonely. But it's alright, because no one should come here. This is strange. I'm becoming myself. I shouldn't be able to think anymore. How am I able to think of these things? I suddenly feel a floating sensation. I'm being pulled back? Could it be?
勝手にこんなとこ来ちゃって大丈夫かな。
I heard a voice from above. Maybe I misheard.
平気平気。冒険だよ冒険。
母さんに叱られても知らないからな。
俺も父上に秘密にしないと。
怖いなら帰ってもいいよ。
I hear it distinctly. No, it can't be. Am I connected?
いるって。だって昔話に出てくるじゃん。
Love and Dad probably left due to some circumstances surrounding AR's mom. Francesca must have been a really close friend of hers, so she raised AR. I think we know. I think it's kind of like a fact from the previous chapters. We know that Francisca was very, very close to AR's mom anyway. I think that's kind of like a fact at this point, that Francisca was really close to AR's mom. Because we know that much at least already from, I think it was chapter 3 or chapter 4, I think.
昔話なんて全部嘘っぱちだよ。
全部とは言わないけど、少し嘘は混ざってるだろうな。
そんなことないって。いる。絶対いる。
I thought I caught a glimpse of the outside. There were 4 children. They were having a little quarrel, but maybe that was proof that they were really close. Something about that was heartwarming, and I couldn't help but laugh. Oh my, did I surprise them? But they were not running away. They sure had courage, didn't they?
見てみろよ。光ってたのってこれじゃないか。すごく綺麗だよね。何なんだろうこれ。
Oh, this is the witch. This isn't even Jed. This is just straight up the witch. Fairy tales are mostly lies. Otherwise, why would your parents not stay together? Ouch.
なんでおい触って大丈夫なのか
This looks so familiar. I've seen this ornament somewhere before.
なんか俺の持ってる宝石と似てるかも。
それ俺も持ってるぞレビもあるだろ
あ、この指輪だろ。
俺も持っている。これだろ。
3 rings, and a white teardrop pendant. His children have them. Oh no, you mustn't touch that.
なんだ
この置物光って。
They're being pulled in. Oh no, at this rate those children will fall over to this side. They will come to the intermediate world where no one can escape. I extended my arm out as far as I could. No, I couldn't reach them. In that case. Please. Please let them hear my voice.
こちらに来てはダメ
Okay. So is the witch actually good then? Let's make it take a love instead. Oof. White sparks flew in front of my eyes. I heard something shattering. I finally reached them. Thank goodness. Now that thing will leave their hands. Oh. I caused that child to be injured. The jewel shattered. I hope that child is okay. She's bleeding and it looks painful. I'm sorry. I want to apologize. I want to heal her. But it's already closed off. I must now return to a long, long slumber. Thank goodness. Thank goodness that they don't have to come here. Truly. I don't even know if this is the witch. I saw this coming. Okay. Well, that's all we can read for now, so close the notes. Save data.
もういいのかい？不思議そうな顔をしているね。どうして僕がこんな式を持っているのか気になるのかな。前にも言ったよね。僕は旅人だって。
The Traveler.
実はついでに物書きでもあるんだ。だから旅の途中で見知ったこと、聞き入れたことをこうして書き留めているんだ。忘れないように、いつでも思い出せるようにね。こんなことを教えても仕方がないのにね。どうせ君は目を覚ましたら全てを忘れてしまうんだから。
The witch's curse is most likely actually her attempt to protect the village, where the townspeople demonize her, the cause of the town always being cold. Curse is probably from the wolves and hawks breaking a promise. That sounds pretty plausible, actually.
それじゃ終わりにしようか。このうつろな夢の時間を真実に彩られた偽りの空間を。これから先果たして君がどんな選択を下すのか。
What's that? Back to real life. A dream. Did I wake up from a dream? Also back to Jed's point of view as well. My eyes didn't open. I couldn't tell the difference between reality and a dream. The only thing I felt was the weight of my body pressed against the earth. Suddenly that weight was lifted. I sensed I was floating in the air. Ah, this must still be a dream. Where will I fly to? My head was in a haze and I couldn't think of anything. I didn't want to think of anything in that moment anyway. Chapter 6. I saw Jed's head was flying in the air. And we were dead. I genuinely thought we were just straight up dead. Jed ascends to heaven. Rest in peace, killed by Levi the Black Shadow. I felt like I was in a long, long dream. I couldn't remember what he was dreaming about, but it wasn't a happy one. I mean, that does explain, actually. That does explain Levy's reaction to the sight of blood from earlier. Because if he was constantly trying to wash it off of himself and was constantly always smelling the stench of blood on himself, why he started the killing, I'm not entirely sure still. But that explains why he's gone insane at just a mere sight of blood. And goes insane and tries to just kill anybody who is bleeding at all. Or get them away from him at least. That's what PTSD does to you. The OCD wears away at your sanity. Jeez. The nightmare would soon be over. A sudden pain and heat forced my consciousness to surface. I slowly opened my eyes. It was so bright, it took me a long time to get used to it. My blurry vision slowly regained its focus. I could finally see a ceiling.
私の部屋
It was my room in the tower. Did I sleep in my room last night? My head was still in a haze. No. Yesterday I tried to get up and was shocked by a sharp pain. A burning pain went across my shoulder to my chest. It wasn't a dream. Levy cut me and I slowly reached to touch my wound. It felt like a cloth. With these bandages? I gritted my teeth against the pain as I turned my head to look at the wound. It appeared to be treated. Levy slashed my shoulder and I fell into the river. That much I remembered. The door opened and someone entered. It must be the person who treated my wounds.
履いたか
気がついたか
ルーガス
Oh, the slash. Every time the Saint's will basically be a hairdryer for him, he won't see humans or lives, he will only see the blood and ghosts to keep following him. So in his frenzied mind, the only thing to do is lash out, maybe it'll drive the ghosts away. Even the first time seeing Lucas Star's cloak. I mean, I've seen it before, I think. This adds a whole new layer of stuff to the romance roots. It's like option 1 of romance. You get to date probably, you know, a somewhat nice person, but he always wants to one-up you. Option 2 for the date person. You can date a psycho murder serial killer. Option number 3, the canon love interest. And option number 4, the traveler. I'm guessing Levy requires you to help him overcome his PTSD and clear his name. I mean, we'll see when we get to it, but possibly. What I didn't expect was that the man who murdered Francisca, the man who attempted to murder me too. I flinched back out of reflex, but due to the pain I could barely move.
動くな。最低限の手当てはしたが、俺は医者ではないからな。
They played it on me, so I'd love to committed mass crimes. Isn't that different to me, Jesus?
お前がどうして
お前に死なれたら
困る。ああ、そうか。そうだよな。
If I died, he wouldn't know where to find the glade here. That was his purpose. I was found by the worst possible person at the worst possible time. I had no strength to resist him right now.
とりあえず寝ていろ。どうせ今は外に出ることもできん。
I'll be honest, right? I am convinced. I know it's only because of the one kiss scene, right? And the fact he didn't choose to report me to Olgar. But I am kind of convinced at the moment that Lucas is still the canon love interest. I don't know why, I'm just convinced. The game question is Mystic Messenger. I still have it downloaded, but I still haven't opened it up.
どういうことだ。
There is a canon for these Atomic games? Oh, okay. Okay, well then, in that case, depending on how it plays out, I will ship them. Lucian moved his chin out the window. I looked and saw a blizzard. Strange. Why didn't I notice it before? Once I realized that it was that, I couldn't help but hear the strong wind beating against the window.
お前を拾った後、ここに塔が立っていたのを思い出した。どうせやむまでは出られない。だからおとなしくしていろ。
待て。
I quickly stopped Lucas as he left the room.
ここにいるのは俺とお前だけか。
ああ、他には誰もいない。
Lucas walked away until I couldn't hear him anymore. I kept staring at where he disappeared to, but suddenly I was exhausted, and soon found myself back in bed.
誰もいないのか。吐いたかも。
As I said, points out who's canon damn. Ashen Hawk. That's right. When this met Ashen Hawk, everything went to hell. Something between us broke down. What was with their reaction then? Did they know each other? Lavan and Levi seemed to know who Ashen Hawk was. But that was how surprised Ashen Hawk looked. And the way Lavan seemed angered, Levi in turn ran away. I followed after Levi into the cut. The knife that Levi held was the same one the serial killer used in the murders. Is Levi the culprit? I couldn't imagine him being the murderer, if that was the case. What's going on? My head felt heavy. I was still sleepy. My body desired more sleep. I turned my body so my wound wouldn't touch the bedding. There were so many things to think about, but right then I was so sleepy. I wanted to forget everything and just... Oops. I woke up this time not out of pain, but from the fierce roaring of the blizzard. It appeared I had slept for a long time. My head felt rather light. I slowly got up. It hurt. Not so much that I couldn't stand up, but I couldn't move around yet. My hands and feet felt a little numb, whether from the cold or from all the bleeding. You were mentioned seeing 4 kids taking Lavan, Levi, and Jed, who was the 4th. Was it Ashen Hawk? I don't know if it was Ashen Hawk. You mentioned having 1 kid. I was gonna say, what if Ashen Hawk was Lavan and Levi's dad? But he only mentioned having 1 kid, so that couldn't be the possibility. The plot chickens. I looked out of the window. The blizzard appeared worse than the day before. At the very least, no one could come in or out of here. On the other hand, that also meant I was stuck. With Lucas.
入るぞ。
Was the one saying that the kid Lavan's dad speaking to Lucas? And saying they had a kid to Lavan's... Oh, maybe, actually. I don't know. I have no idea. It's all complicated to me at the moment. All those bits and pieces from the notes. The moment I imagine his face, perfectly person walked in without permission.
だいぶ寝ていたようだが、少しは体力も戻ったか。
Now let me save. I want to see if I can go to the notes now. If that's what that is. So if I go to flowchart, I can. Ah, okay. I can go to the notes now. They've unlocked the notes. I see. Okay, okay, that makes sense. Right, so the next map I'll try by all the notes that are left so I can get all those. Because they'll be helpful. They're 5 minutes each, so that's perfect. Great amount of time.
どうして今起きたと？
物音が聞こえたからな。
It's hard to hear anything because of the blizzard. They must have had good ears.
少しでも口に入れておけ。
He stomped over with no reserve and handed me a tray.
これは？
俺が作った。
I looked at what was atop the tray. I saw clumsily torn bread that was charred here and there. I steeped with a mix of vegetables that didn't seem to belong with each other. A cup with water that she spilled a little while bringing it over. It was easy to see that this was made by a man who tried.
食材は勝手に使わせてもらった。
Isn't it Lucas met Olga before Levi was born? Probably, yeah.
どうやら誰かがここで暮らしているようだな。あれだけ備蓄があれば数日は持つだろう。
I'd better not tell him that this is my home. I had no reason to tell him that, nor should I tell him that the Galadriel was hidden. Right under my bed, in fact.
食べないのか？
I looked at the tray and yelled out, but I hadn't taken it yet.
お前の作った料理を食べろと。
誰が作っても料理は料理だ。どうしても嫌なら無理強いはしないが。
I got a whiff of the soup. Damn. Despite how we made it, I was still feeling hungry. Reluctantly took the tray. I had no choice. I was on an empty stomach. I needed to eat to gather my strength in case of emergency. I made these excuses in my head as I started to eat the soup.
何か言ったらどうだ？
まずい。
俺が作ったものだからな。
It wasn't inedible, but it had a strangely disgusting taste. It was barely seasoned, but it somehow also tasted dirty. Oh, and there was a lot of scum from boiling the soup that he hadn't skimmed off. That was why.
さっきも言ったが無理強いはしない。嫌なら残せ。
食べるよ、もったいない。
I bit down on the burned bread and took a sip of the soup one after the other. It was disgusting, but it reminded me of Francisca's cooking. Oh, not Francisca. Oh my god. Emotional. Right. And of all people, it was his cooking that reminded me of that.
泣くほどまずいか。
違う。泣いてなんかない。
The pitted tears had been welling up. I nervously tried to wipe my tears and spilled the cup on my tray. Luckily, the water didn't get on top of the cooking, but it drenched the shirt I was wearing.
何をしている？子供じゃあるまいし。
Give a mucky stew. Yeah, mucky stew. You.
うるさい。
I tried to move the tray to the side to wipe myself down, but him stopped me.
着替えた方が早いだろう。動くな。俺がやる。
は？やるって。いい。自分でできる。
Francisca. Oh. It became a sad stream. Oh, I weep.
怪我人はおとなしく従っていろ。
Be serious. You're not the kind of person that would joke about something like this. Lucas reached out to my neck. There was no use to fight him off in that moment. I tried my best to resist by twisting my body so my back was turned. For a second, I thought maybe Lucas paused briefly, but then he quickly resumed. Oh, 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 oh. Oh my lord. Reached over my shoulder and the back of his hand touched my chin, making me sweat. Oh. He apparently paid no heed to that and quickly found my collar button and undid it. This position was a mistake on my part. I couldn't see Lucas's expression, and then again he couldn't see mine either. The only thing I saw was Lucas's hands moving ever so slowly. I noticed that there were some burn scars on his hands. He had tattoos over them, so it was different to make out. Well, still quite large. These were. After a long time, he finally undid my second button. He had his breast close to my ear, so I that he was trying to stay silent. Rose up. Why was he so nervous? This was Lucas I was dealing with. Why was Lucas doing this to me in the first place? His fingers touched my third button, then he stopped.
ない。
What's not there? There's no button or one. So Lucas' fingers grabbing onto the button. That couldn't be.
あるべきはずのものが。
You know he's trying to think the Calvada bee is hidden under the clothes. Lucas' hand was stopped right above my chest. I realized what he meant and my body reacted like lightning. What about the pain and shoved my elbow behind me as hard as I could. Oh. Oh my god, I just got that when you said that. I didn't realize it when you said it. Yeah, you probably did just call it flat. How strange. Damn. I couldn't see behind me, but it appeared to hit the pit of his stomach. You did well, my elbow.
それ以上触れたら殺す。
それだけ動けるなら無用な気遣いだったな。
To get probably more flat than Chad.
最初からそう言ってるだろ。
We're all flat over here. I sensed his presence moving away behind me and he threw a change of clothes from afar. I turned around to glare at him, but Lucas was already far away. I glared at him until I couldn't hear his footsteps anymore and I quickly changed out of my wet shirt. It hurt. I didn't feel it earlier, but the pain had returned. I think the elbow strike just worsened my wound. But there wasn't the time to cry about it. If I didn't hurry, it would come back again. My anger built up inside. I would not forget this so soon. He's so rude. At the same time, I wondered why I was so mad. The physical features of a woman can only be a hindrance for me. Is it because Lucas made fun of me? Because Lucas made fun of my womanhood? Or because I want Lucas to see me as a... Oh! No, that's impossible. I tried to shake the stupid ideas out of my head. As I shook it, a sharp pain ran through my body. Seriously, what was I thinking? Damn it, this is all Lucas's fault. Actually, it's Levy's fault. It had been 3 days since I woke up. The blizzard showed no signs of letting up, continuing to lock us in here. Fortunately, we had everything that we needed. We had enough food, and my wounds were healing well. Although the pain was still there, I'd recovered enough to walk around the tower. As usual, Lucas continued to tend to me. He was doing the cooking, preparing my change of clothes, and even cleaning around the tower. His terrible skills in cooking haven't improved at all, though. Seeing Lucas move about so briskly showed that he now understood the layout of the tower and where every little thing was. I asked him about it once.
随分と詳しくなったんだな、この塔に。
そうでもない。間が空きすぎているからな。
I didn't quite understand the meaning of his answer, but I didn't pursue it. We weren't exactly on friendly terms. I didn't want to admit it, but Lucas had been a huge help to me. If it weren't for him, I would have sunk to the bottom of the river.
よし。
I made up my mind and opened the curtain to my room.
そこで何をしている？
見ての通りだ。
There was only one kitchen in the tower. Naturally, Lucas questioned what I was doing, but I wielded the knife without turning to him.
無理をすると治るものも治らんぞ。
毎日まずい料理を食べさせられたんじゃ、治るものも治らない。
Wow. Yes, I just wanted to eat something proper. I might be cooking for two, but it wasn't that I was making it for Lucas.
手際がいいな。見事なものだ。刃物の扱いも動きに無駄がない。
毎日やっていれば誰でもできるようになる。
Is that supposed to be a compliment? That felt weird. Lucas didn't say anything more, but he continued to observe me until the cooking was done. His staring was so distracting that I messed up a little. Damn him. We set the cooking on top of the table. There was no need for me to eat at my bed, so we sat at the dining table. Lucas began eating. I swallowed and watched in anticipation. No compliments or complaints, he kept eating without letting out a single word.
何か言ったらどうだ。
何かとは？
美味しいとかまずいとか。
普通にうまい。だから何も言わずに食っている。そうか。
Setting aside whether or not he liked it, it appears it passed his marks. That was fine in itself. There was something else I needed to ask Lucas. I had been avoiding it, but now should be the right time.
どうして俺を助けた？
そうしたかったからだ。
Because he wanted to? Meaning Lucas wanted to save me.
カレードビアのありかなら絶対に教えない。
そうだな。それもあった。
Of course it was. Part of it. Then that means there's another reason.
私がエアルだから。
Lucas stopped. He put down the spoon and stared at me.
そうだな。お前はエアルだ。あの日、お前が赤い瞳から流した涙を。
Tears from my red eye. That means...
フランシスカ殺した日のことか。なぜだ。フランシスカは簡単に殺したくせに。いや、そもそもどうしてフランシスカを殺したんだ。
そうする必要があった。
必要？どこに？魔女だからか。でも魔女は私で。
あの女は父上の妹だ。
Huh? Sorry. ちょっと待って。何 the F? Seeing Lucas being talked to me and actually bloodfully just putting him on a pedestal isn't weird. Probably just looked up to him, to be fair. What? The level of plot twist. What the heck? His father's younger sister. His father was Olga. Francisca was Olga's sister?
そんなことあるはず。
事実だ。知る者は少ないが。
それが本当だったらなんだ。どうしてそれが殺す理由になる。
二人の間には昔から確執があった。兄弟でファルジュとボルグに分かれていることからわかるだろう。
Oh. So maybe their parents were together as a hawk and a wolf, but they got separated at some point. Those two. Lucas remained completely calm while my emotions ran wild. His soft voice was charming and quite captivating.
父上はファルジュの一族は力で町を統治しようとしている。それは町を守るために必要なことだ。
フランシスカだって町を守ろうとしていた。力なんかに頼らず仲良く協力して。
誰にでも甘い顔をして守れるものなどあるものか。人はそれほど純粋で綺麗なものでもない。それを一番理解していたのはあの女だ。
違う。フランシスカはそんなこと考えてない。
町で起きていた黒い影の事件、裏で糸を引いていたのがあの女だ。
Literally sullied the eyes meme. What? I mean, it would... I mean... Huh? So you're telling me Levi being the Black Shadow is because of Francisca? Hold up, what? How though? Now I want to know how. How did Francisca get Levi to be the Black Shadow, committing all those murders, and then going probably more than clinically insane at the sight of blood and PTSD? What? Is Francisca not the nice, loving, hugging mother that we thought she was at first? Because this has taken a big turn. Rose Francisca was originally a hawk married into the wolf family, but she drove away a wolf husband, so a lady of the hawk is currently running that household. Maybe so Olga meant she was trying to sabotage the promise. Not saying Olga was right, but seems to have jumped the gun in bringing Francisca. Is Levi even a true-born wolf child? I have no idea at this point. This brings so many things into question.
こちらの力を削ぐためにファルジュの要人を殺すこともあれば、怒りでボルグを結束させるために身内を手にかけることもあった。
No. Are we saying she basically manipulated Levi into killing important hawks so she could get everyone on her side? So are we saying on the surface level it was like, oh yay, love, happiness, softness, but in reality behind the scenes she was killing people of the opposing faction, using Levi as essentially her assassin of sorts as the Black Shadow and manipulating him for that. Jesus. Francisca definitely was not as kind-hearted as we thought she once was. Now I can see why Olga did what he did. Either way, her being so harsh on Levi and possibly inducing trauma response to him could possibly be the cause of his murderous rampage. I'd say if she can really control him. What if this all just Olga or Lucas's speculation? But it would make sense though, wouldn't it? It would make sense though. Because given all that we know so far, it is a possible thing that could make sense. I don't know if it's another misunderstanding. I'm not sure. I mean, this could sound pretty like legitimate.
ふざけるな。フランシスカがそんなことをできるような人じゃ。
声が震えているぞ。お前にも心当たりがあるんじゃないか。
Okay, this isn't even a misunderstanding. This is legit the truth. He's literally saying that Jed is shaking and there's hints that she's noticed. So we're saying this is genuinely what went down. Oh, Jesus Lord Christ. I twitched and held down my wound. Does this man know everything? The knife made to look like a hawk feather was used by the murderer, and Levi also had the same knife. He used that knife to slash at me. Levi could be the culprit. But does that mean Levi committed those murders by his own will? Or was he ordered by someone? My thoughts all converged to the worst possible outcome. I wanted to deny it. I wanted to say that it was impossible, but I couldn't find any evidence to overturn that conclusion. As if he finished all he could say, Lucas stood up. He gathered the dishes and left the table. I was unable to say anything in protest. After I went back to bed, the conversation during dinner echoed in my ears. It wasn't possible. Francisco would never do such a thing. I knew that better than anyone. Then why? Why couldn't I outright deny it? My sword circled about, then I heard footsteps approaching me quietly. There was a hint of surprise in his voice. He must have really thought I was asleep. Was it that late already? Lucas walked past my bed and crouched by the fireplace. He threw in some more, causing the flames to crackle. I didn't particularly like this sound. It reminded me of bad memories. I lifted my head up to look at the fireplace, but I couldn't see the fire with Lucas blocking the way. The fire illuminated him like a backlight. It gave me the illusion that he was protecting me from the flames. How many plot points are you gonna drop on me? How have you lived in this tower before, Nani? The heck?
Huh?
He mumbled that as if he were talking to himself. Oh yeah, the notes. Right. Because the notes, that was Lucas, so he had briefly lived here. Yeah. So he must have known of Ashen Hawk's existence. And he must have met Ashen Hawk for those few days lived with him. And then when he went to the church and found T, they were adopted by Olga. Right, yeah. Lucas continued to pace this over. It was like he was talking to the flames instead of me. Lucas used to live in this tower? Why would the son of the Hawks... Well, because I decided we're going to church, probably meant old guy lived there a few days. I don't know, Ashen Hawk seems a bit too young. I'm assuming the old man from the tavern is the one he met at the tower. That could be possible. It could be possible. Yeah. Either way, we don't know. It could be Hugh, it could be Ashen Hawk, who knows? Because if you think about it, if Hugh takes the form of the old man, that must mean he is pretty old himself. His word stopped. Was he trying to remember what happened then? And it would make sense as well, because Hugh had the notes from that time. There is so much that we have just guesswork to do. They also waited in silence. Only the sound of the flames could be heard in the room.
全て悪いとも思わない。
So Lucas is more neutral about everything. He was just adopted and given a home by Olga, so he feels indebted to Olga for it. But in actuality, he just feels more neutral on the whole thing. I see.
ただどちらの一族にも譲れないものがある。今回のことはそれがぶつかっただけだ。
After saying that, Lucas stood up. He moved away, allowing me to see the bright flames. The light was blinding, but I couldn't take my eyes off it. I couldn't see Lucas walk away or call out to him. I stared at the flames and was captured by a whirlwind of thoughts once more. Something they couldn't yield on. But that meant Olga had something like that. And it was something over which she would kill Francisca, his youngest sister. Did Lavan know about Francisca and Olga? Did Levi have something he would not yield on? Was that why he listened to Francisca? Did I have something like that? Something I wouldn't yield on. It was something that needed to be accomplished in life. Did Lucas too? I didn't know. There were too many things I didn't know. Same here. In the end, I couldn't sleep until dawn. I was mulling over everything in my mind until I managed to fall asleep. My body was beginning to heal, so it didn't allow me to stay asleep for too long. Didn't allow me to sleep for long. It told me to wake up so I could go eat and replenish my energy. Left without a choice, I got up and left my room.
もう起きたのか。
I ran into Lucas at that moment. I wasn't ready for this, so I didn't know how to greet him.
吹雪がだいぶ弱くなっている。夜には収まるかもしれんな。
That's good.
そうなんだ。
食事も一応用意しておいた。お前のやり方を参考にしたが、味は保証できる。
Oh, he's learning. Lucas might be neutral, but under Olga says he must act loyal, so he had no choice but to aid in burning Francisca. Yeah. It seems that all along Lucas was just kind of misunderstood. Damn. Like, he wasn't bad, he was just misunderstood. It seemed like I was the only one mulling over things. He maintained a stern face to state his business before turning his back. I felt stupid for worrying about things so much. That was what I felt from his attitude.
誰だ?
He suddenly stopped in front of me. Was someone there?
ずいぶん仲良くなったみたいだね。貴様、この間の。
No. It can't have been Hugh. Of course. No, because Lucas was in the snowflower field, and he didn't know who Hugh was. He had no idea who it was. So it must have been Ashen Hawk in the tower. If you think about it, Ashen Hawk is kind of like a ghostly spirit. Or like a non-human presence that resides around the tower and doesn't leave. So you showed up in his old man form? No, I mean like, you meant who are you in the snowdrop field? Plus, if Hugh was in his old man form back then at the tower, then he would have the old man voice to accompany it. Because otherwise there's no, it's, because he doesn't have the old man voice otherwise. So I think I have a really strong feeling it's actually Ashen Hawk that was there. He was just probably a younger Ashen Hawk. Because otherwise he would have sounded like an old man if it was Hugh, so I don't know if that adds up entirely.
その声、ヒュー。
He slipped past Lucas and stood in front of me. I hadn't seen him this clearly before, but there was no mistake that it was him. He sat down on a chair in one graceful movement.
なぜ貴様がここにいる？つい先日、切り合いを演じた二人が今は狭い塔で身を寄せ合って、さしずめ、ナイチンゲールの鳴き声は吹雪の音。
Nightingale song.
悪くないね。ロミオとジュリエットを彷彿とさせる。
Hugh is full of poetry, isn't he?
ロミ
お、これは失礼。有名な戯曲なんだけど、君たちはまだ知らなかったかな？そんな話はどうでもいい。こちらの質問に答える気はないのか？
I feel like Ashen Hawk is way too young to be that much older than Lucas. I don't know if ghosts or like ghostly figures or like spirits. I don't even know what he is exactly, but he's that kind of thing, right? I don't even know if they age, so who knows?
怖い顔だね。僕は君の敵というわけじゃない。
My thought is, I still think it is Ashen Hawk, judging by the voice as well. But at this point, it's kind of like I feel like the game leaves it up to interpretation for you to connect everything. So we'll see. We'll see if we get confirmation for that.
もう一度だけ聞いてやろう。なぜここにいる？
Lucas placed his right hand over his hilt. He was in a position to draw his sword at any time. But Hugh didn't seem to be threatened at all.
順を追って話すよ。二人とも座ったらどうかな？
I guess they didn't invite told me to sit on my own chair in my own home. This man had always been mysterious ever since I met him. I didn't know whether he was a friend or a foe. What could he possibly be after?
まずはここに来た理由だけど。
Hugh resumed talking after seeing that Lucas and I had taken a seat.
面白いものが見られると思ったから。実際その通りだったね。時には直感に従ってみるのも悪くない。言いたいことはそれだけか。
ルーガス
Lucas seemed oddly irritated. Was it just my imagination?
それともう一つ。雪に閉ざされていた君たちに街の様子を届けておこうと思って。
How chaotic is it?
それだけのために吹雪の中を越えてきたのか。ご苦労なことだ。暇なんだよ、僕は。
He just admits, it's like, yeah, I don't have anything better to do. Might as well just walk over and tell you what's going on in the town.
時間だけがいくらでもあって、とてもじゃないけど使い切れない。
There was something that bothered me. Hugh had just walked through the blizzard, but no part of his body was wet. His clothes and hair still looked neat. Maybe Lucas didn't notice. I set aside my suspicions as the conversation continued.
それで街の様子だけど、ルーガス君の方、ファルジの一族に動きはないね。というより、動きようがないのかもしれない。目的のものが見つからないから。
Do you mean the Kaleidobeer?
そしてボルグの方も同じ。ウセ人を探したいのに、吹雪のせいで動きたくても動けない。
The eyes.
ウセ人というのは俺のことか。それとも
君とレビ君だね。
レビ
幼い時を一緒に過ごした二人を見失って、ボルグの跡取りはどんな気持ちで過ごしているんだろう。
This is the kind of thing where I feel like Lavan's starting to gonna have a mental breakdown. Because this game has just gone really downhill. Like, oh my god, ever since chapter 4, this whole thing has gone downhill. And people have been going insane. People have been changing attitudes, like deep dark secrets. Like, this game has just done a whole 180 on the happy turn. That's right, Lavan. I chased after Levi during that time, but Lavan wasn't acting normal back then either. You're glad that Ashen Hawk with so much hatred. Did Levi and Lavan both know who Ashen Hawk was? I wanted to talk to him, but Ashen Hawk hadn't shown himself since. Everyone had been separated.
話を少し戻そう。ルーガス君はジェドが隠し持っているカレード
Oh
ビ
wait,
ア
I'm stupid. Of course, Ashen Hawk can leave the tower.
この解釈で正しいかい？
貴様に答える義務はない。
それじゃ勝手にアドバイスを送らせてもらおうかな。もし今ルーガス君、いやオルガがカレードビアを手に入れても意味がないんだよ。
Oh.
何？
どうしてなんだ？
カレードビアはそれ単体では意味をなさないものなんだ。
Let me guess. You need both Jed and the Kaleidosphere to actually use it.
本体を彩る4つの魔石が揃った時に初めて進化を発揮する。
魔石？
I pictured the Kaleidosphere. It was true that it had hollow depressions, although there were no stones affixed to it. But magical stones, what are they? Ju gave a big smile and continued.
さて、その魔石なんだけど、これが厄介な代物でね。カレイドビアから外された魔石は人にちょっとした悪さをするんだ。
Huh?
魔石は人の持つ闇や負を吸い込み、心を狂わせる。
Oh.
心を狂わせる。
そんな馬鹿げた話を信用しろと。
どちらでも選ぶのは君たちだ。ただ君は不思議な石があしらわれた指輪をよく知っているんじゃないかな。
指輪だと。
Lucas suddenly changed his expression. He seemed to know what Hugh was talking about.
魔石には人知を超えた力とでも言うのかな。そういったものが宿っている。持っていると個人差はあるけれど、心の奥底に潜む欲望や獣の心を溜め込み増幅させてしまうんだ。
Oh.
それって
First thing that came to mind was Levi. Yeah. He was completely different from his usual self, almost like a beast. His face looked as if he were being controlled by something.
狂気的な行動をとった人間が魔石を持っていると。
察しが良くて助かるよ。ちょうど君たちの身近にもいるんじゃないかな。さん。
You seem to be enjoying this exchange. Some people, so there's more than one person around Lucas like that? I thought of who they could be. Not just Levi, Olgar too. Lucas said what they did was justified, but suddenly laying siege to the manor and setting it on fire was completely abnormal.
二人とも正解。一つはオルガが持っている。
She spoke as if he read our minds.
父上の行動は魔石のせいだというのか。
それは確認する術がないね。本人は自分の意志で行動してると思っているだろうし。
Jesus, it's controlling magical stones. What is this Kaleidosphere?
話を続けよう。二つ目はジェドだけ正解。
Yeah, Levi, duh.
レビ君も魔石を持っている。いつも身につけているボルグの息子の証。あの指輪がそうだ。
So that's what it was. What he did was because of the magical stone. I really wanted to believe that, but no. Even if it's the stone's fault, Levi himself was the one committing the crimes. If I were to forgive Levi, I'd have to do the same for Olgar. No, that wasn't the same. We didn't know that Levi actually committed the murders yet. He literally had the knife in his hand and slashed you across the shoulder and chest. And you don't think he committed the Black Shadow murders? I'm sorry, Jed, but... Are you dumb? That is enough proof. Did really white knighting? Oh my god, I know. But still, if he did.
感情が乱れているね。その感受性はとても好ましい。
うるさい。それより残りの魔石は？
3つ目はラバン君が持っている。誰からも見えないところ。
Let me guess, the forces was Jed.
ラバンが？
I did not expect that answer. Lavan hadn't acted strange at all.
あいつはボルグの中ではまともだと思っていたが
Yeah, he does seem like it.
そうだね。彼だけは踏みとどまっている。
Oh god.
強靭な精神力で魔石に抗っているのか、それともうまく覆い隠して自分も周りも欺いているだけなのか。後者の方が可能性は高そうだ。血は争えないものだし。
Lavan was hiding something. No, that couldn't be true. I didn't even notice it was Levi. Then...
それで最後の一つは
それは僕にも手が届かないところかな。この町の誰かが持っていることは。
So Jed doesn't have it? Okay.
ただ魔石同士は影響し合う。カレードビアの完成が近づけば、いずれはそのありかもわかる。
Well, that makes it easier. We got 3 of 4, so the fourth one will be easy to find. What if it's inside of Jed? Jed ingested it. How much should I trust what this man says? A lot. It was the fact that what Olga and Levi did were abnormal. Besides, it didn't even think that these magical stones even existed. It all sounded like some sort of fairy tale. Is it strange for me to think of things that way? I had suffered all my life because of these fairy tales.
魔石はちゃんと実在するよ。そうだよね、ルーガス君。
Lucas Gems are named after eyes, i.e. cat's eye. The red eye is like a crimson agate. Crimson agate.
ルーガスは見たことがあるの？
それらしきものは確かに今は父上が持っている。それより貴様の目的は何だ？わざわざ情報を与えて俺たちに何をさせようとしている？
僕はただカレイドビアの完成を望んでいるだけだよ。
And what's gonna happen when it's
それを
completed?
届けたい。そのためには君たちに動いてもらうのが一番早い。
I want answers of what that's gonna do before I do it.
まんまと貴様の思惑に乗るとでも。
See, Lucas got his head screwed on.
確かに僕の思惑ではあるけど、君たちの目的とも一致している。ルーガス君は父君の望みを叶えないといけない。そしてジェド、君は魔石の力を封じることを望むはずだ。魔石はカレイドビアから外れたせいで人に悪さをしているんだからね。
Oh my god. Oh my god, it makes sense. Lawrence. Oh my god, of course. Of course. Of course. They said it all the way back in like the end of chapter 2. Or like chapter 2. Lawrence said it was a symbol of, you know, bringing people together, of peace. And the old man at the time, now we know as Hugh, said it was a symbol of war. It makes so much sense now. It's a symbol of war or peace, depending on who completes it, would make sense, yeah. Or, it's a symbol of war when the pieces are separate, and when they come together, it's peace. Oh my god. Law connected. Please, I'd like to continue to bring about one real to winter curse from the town. Yeah.
つまりそれぞれが持っている魔石をカレードビアに戻せばみんな正気に戻る。
Hugh didn't say anything, he only smiled calmly. That's true, that is what I would do. This was to help Levi regain his sanity, and also to prevent Lavan from losing his. And Olga too. But that was all under the assumption that Hugh was telling the truth. There was no guarantee this man was saying anything true, and there was no way to verify it either. There wasn't anyone else in town that knew about the Kaleidolia. Oh.
これの輝きは少し目に強い。こんな薄暗い塔では特にね。
Maybe Ashen Hawk knew about the Kaleidolia. Then I should just ask him.
会いたければ会わせてあげるよ。
Where is he? I didn't notice when Hugh got too close to me.
今日の夜中、一人で外に出ておいで。そうしたら。
Hugh's face moved away from mine. Lucas must not have heard those whispers. I could see Ashen Hawk.
さて、質問は以上かな。だったら僕はおいとましよう。
待て。
I stopped him without thinking, but I just realized that it wasn't a good idea to ask him about Ashen Hawk at that moment.
お前は何者なんだ。
Hugh.
前にも言ったけど、僕は旅人だよ。
My question was asked in the spur of the moment. I didn't expect much, but he still didn't give me a straight answer.
一つ付け加えるなら、君を見守る旅人かな。
That kind of helps, actually. Later that night, the winds had calmed, but a light snow continued to fall. Even the weather seemed to urge me to go. I had already made up my mind. I wanted to see Ashen Hawk. There were so many things I needed to ask him. Naturally, I didn't tell Lucas that I was going, but keeping it from him made me feel guilty. Even so, I had to go. I didn't want to stay there any longer. If I stayed with him too long, I might warm up to him. I was afraid of that happening. Lucas was supposed to be the enemy. He was supposed to be the one that took Francisca away. How are you still deceived? Jesus Christ, Jed. We've established Francisca has been pulling the strings behind the war and conflict the whole time. Please. Please, Jed. But the Stones called the misunderstanding friction between the wolves and the hawks when united in the Kaleidolia could save the town. But she was raised by Francisca for what, 16, 17 years? Okay, that's fair. That's fair, but still, the manipulation is real. It might be too late, though. Despite those thoughts, I still left a note. I couldn't help but smile wryly at myself. I decided to only write the bare minimum and leave the tower with the Kaleidolia. I wondered where Hugh would be. He said to come outside, but he didn't tell me where to go. Would he come to me if I started walking around? I had a feeling he would. Probably he would. I heard the sound of the door opening, along with a gust of wind barreling through. It sounded like the entrance to the tower.
気のせいか。
I came down to check, but nothing appeared to be different other than Lucas's POV. Aside from a piece of paper left on the table.
人に会いに行く。世話になった。ありがとう。
Wow. How does anybody believe a different perspective about someone that you loved trusted all your life? Well, you know, maybe Olga and Lucas were wrong. She might not have manipulated Levi. If she was telling the truth, then the stones are what made Levi go insane, not Francisca manipulating him. No, but it was... She's definitely taken advantage of it in some way, though. She's 100% taken advantage of it. Even if Levi went insane because of the stones, Francisca 100% took advantage of that and still used him. How do you know that? Because, literally, when they were talking about it earlier, they were talking about Levi, right? And they had said specifically... No, I think Hugh had said... I think Hugh had said... I think he said specifically that No, it wasn't Hugh actually. No, it was also Lucas, wasn't it? Like you said specifically that Francisca was the one pulling the strings. So it leads me to believe that she was taking advantage of Levy's insanity in some way, shape, or form. And you know, just because Lucas said so, well, what if? Well, I mean, it has yet to be confirmed, but Lucas is on a neutral side, so I am kind of inclined to believe it. Do you have solid proof for that? I mean, that's fair. You got me there. He doesn't really have solid proof of it. Well, guys, also what saying. Lucas wasn't saying Francisca pulling the strings. He said nothing about Francisca. Yeah, sorry, I cleared that up. I cleared that up already. Previously, yeah, I did realize it was Lucas. I did realize it was Lucas. I got it wrong. I apologize. Should I follow her? My buddy moved to the door before I knew it. But before I got there, I heard a loud knock from the outside. Uh-oh.
こんな時間に何の用だ。
この声、お兄様？
Huh?
何？
やっぱり、どうしてお兄様が？
Oh. Oh, they were trying to capture Jed. But because Jed left earlier to go see Hugh, Hugh essentially saved Jed. Jeez.
これはルーガス様。失礼いたしました。
どういうことだ T。
Beyond the door was father's private army in T.
ここにジェド様ではなくて、飼い犬がいるって聞きましたの。
Oh, T was after Jed, as in she likes him still.
だから、
Or her.
そう、捕まえたらお父様が喜ぶかと思いまして。
No, T, you just love Jed.
それで紙幣の皆さんと一緒に。
本当に捕らえに来たのか。
本当ですわ。こっそり逃がしてあげようなんて、これっぽっちも考えていませんもの。
Okay, now you definitely were.
それより、お兄様の方はどうしてここに？
吹雪をここでやり過ごしていた。
それでは、ずっとジェドさん、飼い犬と一緒に？
いや、俺一人だった。
本当ですの？
お前に嘘をつく理由はない。寝ている間に吹雪も止んだようだな。俺も一緒に戻ろう。少し待っていろ。
Seems that I wouldn't be able to go after her. At the very least, I hoped she was safe. As long as she didn't go and do anything dangerous.
お兄様、なんだか、あら？これ、何かし
She
ら？
noticed a note, didn't she?
血のついた包帯がこんなにたくさん。
待たせたな。
いえ。お兄様、どこかお怪我をされてたりとかは？
何もない。見ての通りだ。
そうですわよね。でしたらいいのですけど。
Yes, I apologize for my wrongness earlier. The plot Jenkins.
こっちだよ、お嬢さん。
Only a few minutes after walking outside, a voice I expected called out to me.
どこかで見張ってたのか？俺が
言っただろう。君を見守る旅人だって。
That was the only exchange we made. I stuck close behind Hugh so I wouldn't lose him with such poor visibility. The sound of the wind were gone. The birds were sleeping too. I heard the sounds of crunching snow as we took one step after another. How long had we been walking? In the amount of time we'd walked, I'd have made it through the forest already.
どこまで行くんだ？
もう少しだよ。街中を歩くわけにはいかないから、かなり遠回りをしているけどね。
The sound of the snowy footsteps continued as we trekked along.
さあ着いた。おいで。
Graveyard? You dragged me by the hand and all the trees disappeared from view. We were probably close to the town, but I had never seen this place before.
この墓地にフランシスカも埋葬されている。
A graveyard. Of course, they'd never come here then. I'd never had anyone close to me die. The first time I mourned for anyone close to me was with Francisca. You continued to hold my hand as we walked through the graveyard. It was late and there was no one else around. Suddenly I saw a silhouette through the fog. No, it set Bun off again. It was a tall man I knew very well. Oh.
いたか。
この下に彼女は眠っている。
Ashen Hawk is by Francisca's grave? The dead were buried in graves deep into the earth. I knew that was a custom, but none of this felt real at all. Francisca was below here.
ハイタカはどうして？
Why was he by Francisca's grave? I didn't know they were acquainted with one another.
少しだけ昔のことを思い出した。あの二人に会った時。
I'm glad to see he's alive though. I hadn't heard Ashen Hawk's voice in a long time. It wasn't his usual cheery voice. It was dark, sunken, almost lifeless.
思い出したって何を？
フランシスカは私の親友だった。
And the plot thickens. His best friend. That came as a surprise to me. I had never heard either of them say each other's names. Ashen Hawk said he remembered the past. In other words, he had forgotten until now. Then Francisca might have also.
フランシスカだけではない。オルガもだ。
Oh. He was friends with Olga and Francisca both. So, oh my god, what if, when they said it was the two children, I don't know if this is my head going crazy or something. What if those 4 children that made that promise in the notes we looked at, what if it was AR's mother, Francisca, Olga, and Ashen Hawk? Hey, would you be cool? Well done, Bun. Did the kids make the promise for race like the Olga and Lavan's dad? That would also explain why they've reacted the way they did at seeing Ashen Hawk. This plot hurts my brain already, Jesus. And then he'll never get to watch his best friend grow old. Yeah.
仲のいい兄弟で、私はいつもあの二人の中にいた。
ルーガスは二人の間に確執があったと言っていた。
まだ 全てを思い出したわけじゃない。オルガはこんなことができる男ではなかった。妹を、フランシスカを手にかけるなんて。
So, basically, everything that we don't know, that we're unclear about, are we saying everything will be connected through Ashen Hawk? And Ashen Hawk is the key to solving all of this game's mysteries, or most of them. Jeez. Ashen Hawk's words proved what Lucas and Hugh said earlier. Francisca and Olgar were siblings, and Francisca was murdered by Olgar in a crazed fit of rage.
オルガがやったことは魔石のせいなの？
Ashen Hawk appeared to think for a while, before nodding. And there's our confirmation. The cause of this insanity was the magical stones. The stones that were supposed to be fitted on the Kaladavia were what caused Olgar and Levi to go mad. Wait. If those magical stones caused those two to go insane, what about Francisca? Lucas said that Francisca was the one pulling the strings behind the murders. But Francisca was not one of the names of people who owned stones. In other words, Francisca did that intentionally? No, I didn't want to think about it. My image of Francisca began to crumble. Oh no. Just who was the real Francisca? Francisca I didn't know. Why didn't she tell me anything? That she was Olgar's sister. And about Levi. Would she have told me if she were alive today? Please, answer me, Francisca. Francisca now lay beneath the earth. She would never utter another word. What did I want to do? What did I want to know?
本当に仲のいい兄弟だった。妹は兄を慕い、尊敬し、兄は妹を慈しんでいた。それこそ焼け、そしてその中にいた私もとても楽しい時間だった。
Someone like the Olga was crazy and not of sound mind when he claimed Francisca was manipulative and the witch. Yeah. Ashen Hawk closed his eyes, thinking of the past.
もし叶うのならば時間を戻したい。あの幸せだった時に。元の私たちに。
I wanted everything to go back to the way it was too. Only I could turn back the clock. Ashen Hawk wanted to go back to when he was great friends with Francisca and Olgar. Back to a time when I wasn't in the picture. I felt a hint of loneliness when I thought about it. And what about me? What if everything never happened? The time I spent with Ashen Hawk at the tower and the time I spent with Francisca. All those times of happiness. Would I be able to throw it all away? Would I be able to forget all of it?
そんなの無理だ。
It wasn't just because the Francisca I knew would vanish. It wasn't just because those days I laughed with Levi would not have been. It wasn't just because it would erase Lavan's smiles and his kindness toward me. Even the times I spent with the Hawk clan were all there. Then,
答えは出たかい？
I looked straight towards Hugh, expecting him to read all my thoughts.
俺は全てが知りたい。全ての真実を。
Soon the answers to Ashen Hawk's relation to Lavan and Levi.
そして見極めて考えたい。このどうすればいい？
I got the feeling that this man knew the answers. Oh, he definitely
方
does.
法ならある。君は魔女だろ。その力を使えばいいんだよ。
魔女の力？
Was he joking now of all times? Were they stupid for expecting anything out of him?
俺に魔女の力なんかない。ただ目が赤くなるだけの。
いいや、あるよ。
He spoke with such conviction. I was sure he was lying, yet his words swayed my very soul.
君の赤い瞳は間違いなく魔女の瞳だ。千里眼と言い換えてもいい。意識して用いれば人の記憶や感情を見通すことができる。
嘘だ。そんなものが見えたことなんて今まで一度も。
でもうずくことがあっただろう。見えなかったものが見えることもあったはずだ。
I tried to remember if that had ever happened.
きっと魔石に封じられた心なら見ることができる。そうすればおのずと答えにたどり着くだろう。
開いたか？
意図して使うのは難しいかもしれない。それにむやみに使っていいものでもない。それでも君の目は本物だ。私は知っている。
それじゃあ本当にこの瞳を使えば本当のことが。
もっとも君が望むような答えが得られるかはわからない。人の心なんて得てして醜いもの。君は見たくないものを見るだけかもしれない。それでも君の望むものがもし
I'm gonna save here. In the slot here, 30. What I desired, the truth I desired. It was
ど
there.
んな答えがあるかはわからない。それでも俺はみんなのことを知りたい。みんなのことを信じたい。
If I really did have the power to know the truth. If I really could find out the truth, I'd express gratitude to this eye for the first time in my life. The red eye that had been shunned by everyone, including myself.
ジェド、おいで。
Ashen Hawk grabbed my shoulders and pulled my face close to his. Was this his usual good luck charm? I would usually try to push him away, but I decided to accept it today. I closed both eyes.
恐れることはない。その力は君が授かったことに意味があるのだろう。魔女の呪いも空に祈るまじないも人が人を思う恋心も等しく同じ。大切なのは己で己の眼を閉ざさないことだ。さあ、偽りの君から今
Sounded like a beautiful incantation. After Ashen Hawk finished his chanting, he leaned in. His cold lips touched my left eye. Wait, my left eye? But my right eye was the one that turned red.
開いたか？今のは。
おまじないさ。魔女の瞳を封じるためじゃない。魔女の瞳が使えるようになるための。
So he enables me to use the power?
ありがとう。それじゃあ行ってくる。
気をつけて。
I received Ashen Hawk's gentle smile and felt like I was leaving the tower to go into town like it always did at daybreak.
君も人の親になったんだね。
Save.
お前はかつての私を知っているのか？
What?
君はかつての僕を知らないのかい？
過去の記憶の中にお前はいない。まだ思い出せないだけかもしれないが、
それは残念。
それと私は人の親になどなれやしない。
だから肝心なことは隠したままなのかい？カレイドビアの本当の力のことも、君たちの本当の関係も。ま、それはいいか。さて、あの子はどんな選択をするんだろうね。
Chapter 7.
それでここに来たの？
ああ、迷惑をかけるのは分かっているけど、頼む、この通りだ。
I'm gonna BRB just a second. See you all in a bit. Okay, so I'm back. No. We're gonna leave it at I know, I'm sorry, I literally had a break and then I came back and said we're gonna end, but yeah, I'm finishing up for today. Bruh. I'm sorry. Like, on the bright side though, you only need to wait 2 days for the continuation. On the bright side, you only need to wait 2 days, but probably not even that actually. More closer to just a single day even. Yeah, it's just under 2 days you have to wait. Not like over a full day, but not quite 2 days because it's passed over. But yeah. Hopefully you can get like 2 chapters done next time because yeah. Bit longer time-wise, things like that. And also hopefully I won't be stupid late as well. But yeah, I'm gonna be finishing here for today. We're gonna find someone to raid. I will, instead of remembering later, and a bit late, I'm gonna put the link in chat when I can. No, not when I can, sorry, I'm gonna put the link in chat and make sure before I start the raid, I'll put the link in chat. Like that, yeah. Let's see who to raid. It's like visual novels, they're good when they're good, which is a lot of the time. But sometimes you just need breaks because it's a lot of reading. I can imagine it'll be quite a big break until the next visual novel after Ashen Hawk. I don't even know who to raid. My mind's pulling a load of blanks because it was just a big lore dump to stream. Just so much lore, and my head hurts because of it. Reading simulator, literally. But at least you're reading good. At least you're reading, you know, a good story. I have no idea who to raid, I'll be honest. I'm drawing blanks on the raid as well. My mind is pulling a blank on absolutely everything right now. I need time to process all of that stuff that just happened and all of that lore we got. Let me put the music back on. Take your time. Oh god. The magical stones of the Kaleidoria. Wow. So we learned they make people go insane. We learned why Lawrence saw it as a symbol of peace and why Hugh saw it as a symbol of war. Then there's the whole thing about Ashen Hawk, Olga and Francisca being friends. and Lucas is more neutral on things, and he wasn't really on a, side. And the fact that he and T were adopted, and what is just way too much to process. Oh my god. It's like, my head. Yeah, I have no clue. Let's just... I'm sorry, I'm literally yawning into the mic. My mind literally can't keep up with all that lore. Okay. We're gonna raid Noah Keep. They're playing Pokemon Infinite Fusion. Did it go through? I'm not sure. Either way, I'm going to send a link into YouTube to make sure the people at YouTube have it as well. So that's who we're raiding today, YouTube chat. We're raiding Noah Keep. If you want to go over and watch, that's your decision. But yeah. Necorate, thank you. Yes, thank you for the raid command. It's not loading for me. I want to go in the raid with you at least. Load the raid thing. Thanks. So yeah, copy Necorate into the chat. Use the emotes if you're choosing, or the love emotes if you have it. Would be preferable. It's loading, don't worry. Okay, good. It's like I can't see it. I'm like, But yeah. Mortal Kombat 1 chapters, because we did 6 and 7 last time, so we're doing chapters 8 and 9 tomorrow. Otherwise, I will see you on Monday for more Psychedelica of the Ashen Hawk. See you Sunday or Monday. Bye bye everyone. Bye 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 bye.